This is a tutorial on how to complete every single shadow briefing in Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 2. I'll show you the locations of the briefings and how to complete each one. The briefings that involve finding and searching the chest are the most time consuming and difficult in my opinion, so skip those if you're in a rush. The Hopeful Heights briefing is pretty simple and quick to complete. You're going to aim towards the entrance of the city where this purple tree is, and the briefing box will be right behind it. This one's nice because as soon as you start it, you can grab a little bit of loot, grab a vehicle, and head straight for the balloon. And the balloon is a pretty short distance away. Here as you approach the factory from the front, you're going to go to this main building, go around to the alleyway, and the shadow briefing will be right below the stairs. For Masked Meadows, you're going to head to this tennis court area, I think it is. It's a court of some sort. Yeah, it's a tennis court. So head for the tennis court. There's going to be a little building out back. Start your briefing, and typically you can complete it at that location. This one at the maze south of Masked Meadows honestly works better if you drop at that location, unless you can get a vehicle at Masked Meadows and then drive into it. Sometimes there's a vehicle around here, but don't count on it. So once you get your briefing here, your best bet is going to be to find a vehicle because the chests are pretty far apart from the 2-3 times that I ran this back. So here I had a vehicle, and even with the vehicle it was kind of close on time, as was with most of the chest ones. And so I sped up a lot of these clips of me driving from like location to location. So when I do that, if you can't catch it quick enough, just slow that portion of the video down. So this one is kind of easy to spot because you're going to be right by the chute here. Also, one thing I noticed is when you do these chest quests, it does like switch up the pattern of where they're at least 2 to 3 times. I did not see any more variants than 2 or 3 if I remember correctly. This one's going to be right on the hill, not too far outside of Masked Meadows. It's over here by the lake. You can kind of see the view where we're at. Canyon Crossing is one of the more difficult chest ones, at least a few times I ran it. So, to be honest, would not recommend doing this one unless you're like right at the start of the game and have a vehicle you think you could get to on the other side, or just want to gamble with it. So this one is right here at the edge of the city or whatever. Gonna start your briefing. Here's where our chests are. As you can see, they are really far apart. I sped this up like I think by 5x at least. Going under the bridge is the best route I found because I tried going over the mountain and that really slowed me down. So it's right here at the edge of the lake. Pretty simple to find once you're down here. Once you've searched your chest, swim across the river and try to look around for a vehicle. I kind of like looked both ways, did not see anything close by, realized I might run out of time, so I just headed on foot. Here it does help you a bit because you can slide. This was weird where it like spawned right in front of me, but did not have time to check that out. Also, if you can get the gold rush effect, that helps you out. And here we are. This is like right by the river, and if you look around you can see the wolf in the background, construction site behind you. So fairly easy to find it. It's just a matter of getting to these locations. So next to Canyon Crossing, I think Shoguns is my second least favorite, or might be first least favorite as far as the chest ones. I do not know why they put the chest ones like so far out when the balloon ones are so close by. So again, here we go. We're going to go to Canyon Crossing and far out to get the second chest. Again, sped this up by I think like 5. Running up this area was the best I found. Also hop onto the zip lines when you can. This one's pretty simple. You're going to go all the way down to Canyon Crossing, and it's going to be right at the edge of the city, right there. Pretty easy to spot once you're there. So like if you're strictly just after the loot or need to open a rare chest, these aren't bad because like you could start the briefing, go get your one chest, and then forget doing the other chest. So from here, the best route I found was running through the city, get on the middle zipline or whatever you call it, guide rail, and go all the way up to the top of the mountain and then slide down to get speed. Again, I peeked around for a vehicle. I did not find one. This one is literally past the one you go to Shogun's in the middle of the construction site. Pretty simple to find. And so I like this one because say if you had just completed the one I just showed you of Shogun's, once you complete that briefing, you could land here, or not land here, but like just run right over to this one and start a second briefing, which this one's a simple one because you just do the damage. This one that is outside of Outlaw Oasis is actually one of my favorite places to go do a briefing. So we're going to land here, and I landed kind of far outside, and you're going to go around the building. It's up on the boardwalk. Start your briefing and your balloons nearby. This is nice because you can also get gold at the gold shop while you're waiting for your balloon to drop. This one outside of Shiny Shafts is another one where you're going to search the two chests. Not one of my favorites. Also, I do not know what happened to my last clips. I apparently deleted the portion I had of me going to search for the actual chests. So, yeah. Foxy Floodgate is one of my more favorite to start the briefing at because there's always people running in and out of here, and even if you don't get here right off the spawn, if no one's claimed it, it's easy to claim it and then get the damage done. This one I was able to find someone pretty close by to get my pistol one. The one here at Seaport City is also a really good option because of how many people are in and out of here. It's a little tricky to find at first because it's like in the middle of the city in between all these buildings. But if you land here at the street and then run to this little building that's like right by under the bridge, it's right there. North of the bridge is another one where we have the chest. This one isn't as terrible because you can loot up here first and then start your briefing, and then you can find a vehicle to drive to the locations. So obviously way better than Shogun's or Canyon Crossing. Again, sped it up by like 5x. This one's, you kind of have to look a little bit to where they're at for the chest icon to pop up of their location. As you can see here, even in the car, it's time consuming to get from one to the other. So if you did not have a vehicle, I do not believe you would be able to complete these at all. And here's our second chest. And there we go. This one at Brutal Boxcars is really simple to complete, but the problem is there's a lot of competition for it because it is easy. So I went through here multiple times and someone had already claimed it. Here, start the briefing, grab your vehicle, and then do a short drive to the balloon location. This balloon is a little further apart than the one outside of Outlaw's Oasis, but again, not bad because you could literally walk here if you had to. Even without the vehicle, you'll still likely be able to get it. Again, there is a little bit of traffic through here because of how many people cross through here, but I was able to complete this like multiple times. So this one, I actually initially had quite a bit of trouble finding it because I was going off of a map that I found online of where these spots were located. So I ended up finding it accidentally as I was running from another one, but I do like this one. I don't know if it's just me, but all of the ones that are balloon location briefings, I like the drop areas because it's places you can get a lot of loot and aren't super high traffic, except for the Brutal Boxcars one. But this one is nice. You can grab some loot, start your briefing, and you're at a good point where you can like then run to other locations nearby and even take out a vault or something. And you can easily run. You don't have to have a vehicle to get to your balloon. This is another chest shadow briefing, but isn't too bad if you land here off of spawn. So my internet was lagging, that's why I'm standing in the middle of the road. But this one's good because if you drop here, you can grab a little bit of loot, start your briefing, before you do the briefing actually. Go get full shield at the slurp truck at the edge of the hill. I don't think I showed that. Don't ask me why I didn't go back from my vehicle. But anyway, you run to the next chest, sped up. I think like this one was sped up probably 7 times, I think. I sped it up a lot. So this one's in the middle of like the mini little forest here. I didn't show real good the area. I'm sorry. The other one isn't too bad, but it's at the top of the hill. So my first time I did it, I kept looping around and I didn't realize it was on top of the hill because it wasn't showing up the little highlight spout where it's at. This one's a really good drop for your shadow briefing because there is a slurp truck here as well. There's lots of loot. So even if you landed here in duos, you'd still be pretty set. And again, it's a damaged shadow briefing. It's not a chest one. And there's sometimes a vehicle around here as well that you can get to then head off to your next location. And usually there's a bot or two so you can get your damage done pretty quick. This one, even if you do like the chest shadow briefings, isn't a super great one to pick because of how many people seem to be landing at magic mosses now and running through there because of the black market. So this one, you're going to land at this building to the back of it. If you're looking at the mini map, it's like above the M of mosses and it's going to be under the stairs out back. This one I sped up and I kind of just like winged it on the fly and decided to head to that little location that's at the edge of the map because I don't even know what this place is called. I think it's a landmark, but there's always a vehicle here. So if you go here, even before going to start the shadow briefing, you can grab a vehicle there. There's always a vehicle. And I opened that one. Then this was another one. If I did not have a vehicle, there's no way I would have gotten to it in time. Because even if you made a straight beeline for it, in a vehicle, if you have to stop like once or twice to get an elim along the way, there's no way you can finish it. So this one's pretty simple. It's like in the open. It's not real hidden. This one that's north of Magic Mosses was kind of interesting because I landed here several times, and more times than not, there was no shadow briefing box there. So I don't know if like a noob swooped in right before I did and started it or what, but kind of odd considering how far out it is. But if it is there, it's going to be underneath the little building there in the sand. There's usually at least like 1 or 2 bots around that you have to clear. This one, the chests aren't as far apart, and I was able to find a vehicle at the beach area. And here, this one's pretty close to the edge of the road, the chest. And then the other one you do have to drive through. But the nice part is like, if you want to do multiple shadow briefings, you could complete this one and then drive into Magic Mosses and start that second one once you're finished with this one. And then do that one. So same as with the last one, this one was very hit or miss for me. I don't know if a lot of people just start this briefing, but more times than not when I went here, there was no shadow briefing box. So this is one of the times I actually was fortunate enough to find it. So this one used to be one of my favorite spots to land and get the briefing. but as this season has gone on, it seems to have gotten more popular because a lot of people seem to go there just to get the elims because they don't hire the bot, so I'm not sure why else they go there. I would drop here because I like to collect all the ammo crates that are at the dojo, the main building, because it gives you a ton of ammo to start off with. So the briefing's in this little side room, and there's like some shield in there if you want it. It's this one that's over here on the side. And then you just run to your balloon. This one's pretty cut and dry to get to your balloon. And sometimes there's a vehicle up on top to help you get there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, drop a fish emoji in the comments. If I missed a shadow briefing, tell me so I can fix that. If you like these kind of videos, let me know and I can keep making them. So yeah, have a good day.